In the quiet, unseen corners of the ocean, where light barely dances and the currents drift like a whisper, lives a creature so small, so unassuming, that one could easily mistake it for a speck of floating debris. And yet, within this fragile dome of gelatinous tissue lies a secret that science has only begun to understand, a mystery that has captivated biologists, philosophers, and storytellers alike. This is the story of the so-called immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, a creature that defies one of the most absolute laws of biology, that all life must end. While other organisms march inevitably toward death, this jellyfish has found a way to reverse the clock, to regress into its younger self and begin life anew. It doesn't merely survive, it resets. Reborn from the brink of death, it may very well be nature's closest thing to eternal life. Turritopsis dohrnii is a hydrozoan, a species of jellyfish in the class Hydrozoa. Unlike the large, pulsating jellyfish people imagine with their trailing stingers, this creature is minuscule, barely the size of a pinky nail, translucent and easily overlooked. It was first discovered in the Mediterranean Sea in the late 1800s, but its remarkable regenerative ability wasn't documented until the 1990s. Since then, it has fascinated researchers for the simple reason that it does something that no other known animal on Earth does. It can reverse its aging process. Not in a metaphorical, cosmetic, or limited sense, Turritopsis dohrnii can literally revert its cells to an earlier developmental stage, essentially transforming from an adult medusa back into a polyp, the earliest form in its life cycle. This biological feat is not merely rare, it is, as far as we know, unique. To understand why this is so extraordinary, it helps to step back and look at how jellyfish normally live and die. Like most cnidarians, jellyfish have a complex life cycle that includes both a sessile polyp stage, which attaches to rocks or ocean surfaces, and a free-swimming medusa stage, which is the familiar jellyfish form. In most species, this cycle is linear. The organism progresses from fertilized egg to larva, then to polyp, and finally to medusa, where it matures, reproduces, and dies. That's the end of the story, except in the case of Turritopsis dohrnii, where the story loops back around. Instead of dying, it undergoes a process called transdifferentiation, a kind of cellular alchemy in which one type of cell transforms into another. Its muscle cells can become nerve cells. Its reproductive cells can become digestive ones. Through this reprogramming, the adult jellyfish collapses in on itself, forming a cyst-like structure, and from that, a new polyp emerges, genetically identical but developmentally young. This is not just healing, this is biological reincarnation. Scientists have observed this cycle multiple times in laboratory settings. When the jellyfish is stressed, injured, or nearing natural death, it initiates the reversal process. And remarkably, it can repeat this cycle multiple times. Theoretically, this makes the jellyfish biologically immortal. It's important to note, though, that this doesn't mean it can't die. Like any oceanic organism, Turritopsis dohrnii can be eaten, injured beyond repair, or succumb to environmental changes. But absent those external forces, its body has no internal biological timer ticking toward entropy. In essence, it does not age. The implications of this are staggering. Immortality has long been a concept confined to mythology, religion, and science fiction. From the elixirs of ancient China to the holy grail of Arthurian legend, humanity has been obsessed with the idea of eternal life. But here, in the folds of a jellyfish, barely a few millimeters long, lies a real-world example of nature cracking the code we have never been able to decipher. If one organism can do it, could others? Could we? Researchers studying Turritopsis dohrnii are particularly fascinated by the mechanism of transdifferentiation. While this process has been observed in some vertebrates, for example, salamanders regrowing limbs, it is rare and usually limited. The jellyfish, on the other hand, performs full-body cellular reprogramming. This opens up new avenues of inquiry in regenerative medicine, aging research, and even cancer therapy. If we could understand how the jellyfish rewires its cellular identity, perhaps we could apply similar techniques to human tissues, rewinding diseased cells to a healthy state, or even rejuvenating aged tissues. The tantalizing question is not just how this jellyfish cheats death, but whether we might one day learn to do the same. The journey towards such understanding is slow and filled with complexities. For one, the jellyfish is incredibly difficult to study in the wild due to its tiny size and fragile body. Even in lab settings, reproducing the full life cycle under observation has proven challenging. Moreover, the genetic and molecular switches that govern its transformation are still being mapped. There's no immortality gene that flips like a switch. It's a symphony of biochemical signals, cellular memory, environmental stressors, and perhaps evolutionary adaptation. Each discovery opens up more questions than it answers. But slowly, we are peeling back the layers. What makes the story of the immortal jellyfish even more compelling is its poetic irony. For all the technological power we wield as humans, all the tools of surgery, pharmacology, and AI, we have not come close to matching what this tiny creature accomplishes effortlessly. It has no brain, no heart, no complex nervous system. And yet, it holds the key to one of the deepest mysteries of life: how to escape the grasp of death. Beyond science, the jellyfish forces us to reconsider our philosophical assumptions. If death is not inevitable for all organisms, what does that mean for the human experience? Is aging a fixed law of biology or merely a process we have yet to outsmart? Could the future of life involve cycles of rejuvenation instead of linear decay? The immortal jellyfish doesn't provide answers to these questions, but it forces us to ask them. In recent years, popular fascination with Turritopsis Dohrnii has exploded. It's been featured in magazines, science blogs, documentaries, and museum exhibits. But the more the jellyfish enters the public consciousness, the more it is misunderstood. Some outlets exaggerate its abilities, claiming it cannot die under any circumstance. Others romanticize it as a kind of oceanic vampire, forever young and forever elusive. The truth is more nuanced. It is a creature of incredible biological talent, yes, but it is still vulnerable, still mortal in the ecological sense. Its immortality is not a guarantee. It is a potential, triggered by crisis, by trauma, by the edge of death. Perhaps that's what makes it most human after all. In a world obsessed with youth and terrified of decay, the immortal jellyfish offers both hope and humility. Hope that life, in some form, may not be bound by linear time, and humility in recognizing that the secrets we seek may be hidden in the most overlooked corners of the natural world, in things we can barely see, let alone understand. So the next time you think about the vastness of the ocean and the creatures it holds, remember that somewhere, drifting silently beneath the waves, a jellyfish the size of your fingertip might be quietly performing the impossible. Not once, not twice, but over and over again, living, dying, and being born all over again. That is the story of Turritopsis dohrnii. Not just a jellyfish, not just a biological marvel, but a symbol of what we still don't know about life, and what we might one day learn to become.